Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm coming at you from House of Reptiles in Tigard, Oregon. Today we're going to do another spotlight video on a couple of nice little Uromastyx species that we have here. Right here we have a young Molly Uromastyx, otherwise known as Uromastyx molliensis. And right here we have an Egyptian Uromastyx, who is known as Uromastyx aegypticus. These guys come from various areas in the Middle East, so Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Yemen, places like that, all of which are very dry and arid places. As you can see, there's a size difference. Even though this one is much smaller, it's also a smaller species. So these guys get maybe 13 to 16 inches maximum, whereas the Egyptian Uromastyx, this guy still has quite a bit of growing left to do. They can get up to 36 inches in remarkable specimens, although a little bit smaller is probably a little more common. So as I mentioned, these guys come from arid areas, which means that they need concurrently high basking temperatures. In order for proper digestion and their health, they're going to need a basking spot that's about 120 degrees Fahrenheit. The other end of their cage can be in the 70s somewhere. Now, for smaller species like the Molly Uromastyx that I just showed you right there, a minimum of probably a 36-inch cage is going to be necessary for them. And for something like an Egyptian Uromastyx, the bare minimum is going to be a 4-foot cage of, 18 inches depth up to 24 inches depth. That is not just so they have room to explore and to stretch and to do all their natural behaviors, but also just because of the high basking temperature, they need to be able to thermoregulate. In a smaller cage with a 120-degree basking spot, the other side of the cage is still going to be much too hot. So if you don't give them a spot to cool off in, that can do some major damage to them. It's not healthy to them. Aside from that, these guys also, coming from the desert, are basking animals. They need UVB light in order to metabolize calcium and stay healthy over time. We recommend and use mercury vapor bulbs here because they combine both UVB and heat in one bulb. Some folks use linear fluorescence as well as basking lights, but that just gives you one more thing to worry about and have to replace. Many, if not most, keepers feed these guys a fully vegan diet, so dark leafy greens, collard greens, mustard greens, dandelion leaves and flowers. Basically, your usual herbivorous diet for reptiles is going to be what these guys should be offered. Little guys, like the little Molly Uromastyx, can be fed once a day, and larger animals can be fed once every other day. At each meal, we use a little bit of an appropriate, good quality calcium supplement just to make up for any nutritional deficiencies there might be. But the most important thing is going to be a varied diet. Aside from that, a reptile-specific sand or millet we found is really excellent to use as substrate. Giving these guys little hollows they can hide in or places they can burrow into is going to be good so they can feel nice and safe and secure. Though some folks have had animals that did okay with each other, most of the time they're going to do best when kept singly. Aside from that, if you can give the temperatures they need and the appropriate diet and so on and so forth, these guys do make excellent little pets. They can live 15 to 20 years, I believe, and will be wonderful pets during that time. So I hope you enjoyed the Spotlight video. Have a good day.